Hello, this is Arcades, and welcome to a bit of a discussion video here on Stormworks Build and Rescue. And we recently just got an update for Stormworks for the modding, and we're going to be talking about that. So yeah, also, say hi to my avatar assistant, Kyle, down in the corner. That's me as well. So, yeah. Hope you enjoy what you see. Hope you like what you saw. If you do, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Helps out the channel immensely. And, yeah. Let's get into this. Okay. First of all, it has been a while since I've done a regular video. I'm not gonna lie. I've been having subjects. But we've had an update recently, so I've got something to talk about. We've had a few updates I need to cover and have just been slacking on that. But this one's pretty important because it's definitely something that can confuse people if they're not careful of what's going on. I've even seen some of the mod makers have issues with this, and we don't want that. So, alright, first, let's go over the notes of what happened. Okay, so we got version 1.15.0, the components, physics, gameplay, modding update, out now. Yay! Dear Stormworks, the components, physics, gameplay, modding update is out now. We've added new types of modding to Stormworks. Component modding allows new components to be modded into the game that actually do stuff. Make sounds, animate, apply forces, etc. These components are workshop compatible. Physics and gameplay modding is now possible via new values text file, where you can override numbers in the game engine related to buoyancy, physics, aerodynamics, and more. This new modding support creates huge opportunities for players to express their ideas and be inventive. We expect there to be loads of useful stuff we can add to the new Lua API for components and new values we can expose in the engine values text file. Documentation is linked below in the patch notes for builders interested in the new modding. We look forward to your feedback on this new update. Much love, the devs. Okay, and then patch notes. Features. Modifiable game constants. Game constants file that can be overridden using the existing file modding system. Many physics gameplay internal settings such as aerodynamics and hydrodynamics can be tweaked. Lua components. New component type that has behavior described by a Lua script. Exposed game API allows for complex custom behaviors. Component modding. Your local component mod binaries are shown in the workbench inventory. Vehicles built with component mods have these mods built into their file for portability. Component modded vehicles do not require external mod dependencies, so you can load them into an existing vanilla save. Component modded vehicles are workshop compatible. Component mod compiler. Packages component definitions and assets into a component mod binary. Full breakdown of component modding can be found on the wiki here. Okay, there's a catch to this. There's a big catch to this, and I've noticed this when I was messing with it on my stream. If you saw a video, I have a video out from my recent stream where I ranted about the modding. I ranted hard, but I'm not going to get into the rant. If you want to see the rant, it is on my YouTube channel. Well, here, it should be the build video. Yeah, the build stream for 6/21. Yeah, so check that out. I ranted a bit about the modding, good and bad. So, Okay, so what does this mean overall? Well, here's the catch. Now, we have 3 trucks here, as you can see. Damn. Nice. Anyways, so we have 3 trucks here. This is my G2 Optimus Prime. It's on the workshop. This is the vanilla version. This is all vanilla parts using different vanilla techniques and a little bit of XML. So this is all it was without modding. So you can get there and look at what it looks like. Well, when they released the original mods, originally I decided for my own pleasure, and I went and added using some mods and updated it. I added Apollo's light pack, a few other pieces, mainly just the light pack because it has a few of the stuff for truckers that you can use, like the markers and such. And I know I have a few other pieces in there, but nothing's a real significant difference. There was one other thing that you obviously can't see right now, and this is where I'm going to get into it because there is a difference. You'll notice we have exhaust pipes here, but they're kind of missing here. I had installed a new modded set of parts from Lazy Cat for exhaust tips. And I was like, yeah, add it on there. Well, the thing is, they're still in the game. But due to how the modding works with the new set, they went poof. Because when I loaded up with all the things, it was like, hey, you don't have the definitions for some of the parts. I'm like, what? I added all the appropriate mods back on. While looking through the inventory, I found the parts. And here they are. Now this one is version 2 of the modded version of the truck. I found more mods and added them onto there. But due to the fact of how this second modding update changed how the modding works for the new parts, I want to cover this because we technically have 2 modding systems in this game. Okay, 2. Now, what most everybody wants is the second version. The first version is better for like the world environments, for like each individual save. So, I'm gonna go over those differences, and I can do it with these 3 trucks. Okay, let's get into the workbench. Okay, as you see, here's the vanilla one again. This is the one that's up on the workshop. So the main thing I changed on this vehicle for the first mod was I got Lazy Cat's exhaust tips, exhaust pack. It's something like that. And I got Apollo's lights to change, the headlights, the markers, and the exhaust. Other than that, I was really happy with how the truck looked overall. So when we come around, so I changed the lights, got the turn signal changed, and modified the taillights of the truck. I wanted to do the taillights for the trailer, but he doesn't have like an RGB version. Apollo's light pack doesn't have a modified version of the RGB light, which if any modders, if you happen to see this video, I want a flat RGB square version for my trailer. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people who use those lights would love to have it. I digress. So, when I would go to load this vehicle up, the modded Optimus, this is what comes up. Vehicle trying to load is missing a component's definition. Ensure your save has the required mods enabled. Well, what it's trying to load was the exhaust, but that doesn't exist as that mod anymore. And I was like, oh man, did he take it down? And, the first thing I did was, you know, you go in here to look for the parts, and you go over to the mod category. And you would see a listing of each of things where it has the blue name on the here, right? And you can see Apollo's light packs, you can see all the different lights he has. But I was like, where's the exhaust tips? Because I'm not seeing Lazy Cat's exhaust pack, or the thing that had all the exhaust tips. As you can see, I've got quite a number of things. And then it comes down here, none. And I look, and guess what? Modded LC Lazy Cat angle exhaust round. They're listed with the regular parts. So I go back to the category and go to, go to type in exhaust. And now they're showing up under the regular categories. You got modular engines, jet engines, and then you got fluid. So they're showing up underneath the fluid parts. So I search fluids, and you can see, here they are. They're showing up underneath the vanilla parts. Not under, but they're not showing up underneath the mod selection. So they're not showing up underneath their mod category. So here's the thing. We still technically have the previous mod system still in the game, where you can use the mod category to find the part, because it identifies by each different mod pack. And you'll see it has the little blue name, the little blue name for the pack underneath the actual name of the part. But because Lazy Cat already redid his under the new modding style, the second mod system, it lost, as you can see, it doesn't have the little blue name. It doesn't have the little blue name at all. So you have to keep in mind that this, when you're looking for these parts, if they've done that, or the new parts. So I really hope that any of the mod makers that may go to redo their things actually keep this in mind and let people know that if they can't find it, to look under the regular categories. Because I'm pretty sure the devs will probably go ahead and make it to where they can be picked up and seen and fix it so that it comes up like before. But for now, keep in mind, those are two different systems of modding. You have the first system, which we originally got a while back, which isn't compatible with the workshop. And those things can't be loaded up there. And then you have the new one, which they just released, which is compatible. And the parts just don't show up underneath the mod selection because they're just put straight into, they're binary files. So, keep this in mind. Because, as you can see right here, this truck has those exhausts on it. Which, side note, I highly recommend. It's actually nice select tips. I think you primarily made it for cars, because Lazy Cat's about the automotive stuff, from what I can tell. So yeah. I also, side note, highly recommend, since we're talking about a few mods, if you like detailing and basic functionality of parts, I don't know how well this name will show up, but the Lynx Detail Mod Pack, I would suggest it, because it has a lot of little parts that have various little details. Overall, it's, you know, some of them will have a lot of detail, but their basic function is they're just a switch. Like here, small toggle buttons. You'll see all these little things, but in the end, it's just a toggle button. So when you hit them, it's just one single toggle button. But, yeah, so keep that in mind. He's got a lot of detailed pieces, so you can see it's actually really cool. But he also has smaller detail pieces because I went and used it and added, he's got like little rivets, riveted pieces that you can use the detail riveting on a boat, or in this case, as I did on the tanker of this truck. Now, if the design of the truck I was borrowing from didn't have these ridges like this, I would actually just push them in and make them flush, so the rivets just stand out in general. But, hey, as it is, this is how it's going to be. I would admit, if he actually made, like, weld line pieces, that would be cool, too. But, anyways, I digress. This is supposed to be about the differences in the modding, not... but it is a small shout-out. Yeah. So, and... he's got these amazing light pieces. They can form into these really awesome tail lights. Recommend them, but they're just the standard issue ones, and I'm hoping maybe somewhere down the road he can make a version of them that's the RGB. I would really love to see this as an RGB. So, where's your mess here? Okay. I probably might do a video later on mods that I find out that I've come to like. I don't use the mods a lot because you've never been able to put them in the workshop, but now that they have the workshop capable stuff, or the capability of doing workshop stuff, I'm hoping that these creators do eventually put it on the workshop so that they can be uploaded. And when that happens, then my modded version of this truck will go on the workshop. Because I even have, so for example, like right here as decoration, I'm using rocket parts, the rocket body, to look like a thick industrial port, even though it's just for decoration. Like, it's literally for decoration. It brings up the cost of the trailer up, and if I was to delete them, I would save a lot of money for spawning this thing, but at the point where I use it and spend money on it, it's not really a big deal. Okay, I think I've already gone pretty far enough, and I've covered the basics of what I need to watch out for. I'm not going to talk about how to actually do the modding. I'm not a modder. I am a user, and so this is coming for as a warning to a user standpoint, so that you can understand and be ready on the differences that we still technically have 2 mod systems in the game. So, okay, so like I said, we went over the basic update, talked about the differences between that there's still the 2 modding systems now, not just one, but there's actually 2. The previous one that allowed to mess with some of the inputs and all that, and then the current one for the Lua components that they added. And there is a difference, so we have 2 mod systems in here. Keep that in mind. So if you can't find something on something you modded previously, see if the creator converted it to the new mod system, and it might be just under the regular parts. Also, hold on, one more thing. Okay, something I'd also like to mention is if you have an issue with a mod pack, you can't find the part, and you've already searched for it, and you cannot find it, try to get as many and specific details for the creator of the mod. Because there's this mod, the analog kit. It had an issue, And the problem is one of its pieces, this one right here, was not showing up in the mod pack or in the parts list. And people were saying it, and the dev was able to find it in his copy of it, but people were saying no, it's not there, and he couldn't help it. I eventually figured out there was a weird part sitting in the thing, and I was sitting there talking with him, and I told him, it's like, hey, which this is me, and I had this picture, and I showed him and said, hey, you've got this weird part here listed this way. It's in your blocks thing. You don't have the twin needle one, but there is this one. So came back and he's like, oh my god, thank you, and got the thing. And then we came back and solved the problem. So if you can give as much information to the mod makers as possible, say you find some weird part, you're going to have to do some sleuthing on your suit if you really want this to work. But don't, as a mod maker, if you got a bunch of people saying this doesn't exist, something's messed up. Try to download your own thing, load it up through the workshop side instead of working from your own save. This is something you can do. So, because it's like if you go to the upload a creation on the workshop and you go to your workshops and subscribe to it, you can actually download it from the workshop tab. And open it up, and you can see if there's differences, something you missed, because you might have not updated it in a while. And then we got it fixed, and was showing him it was in the thing properly. So, yeah, make sure that it's get proper communication. Don't just complain it doesn't work. I mean, let them know it doesn't work. But if you can give as much information, don't get mad at them, because sometimes they might not be able to see what you see. And then you're going to have to give them a picture and some specifics as best possible so they can fix it for you. And communicate them and be patient. Because this is new. A lot of people are not sure what's going on both sides, because you can see endoskulls up there. And he's even saying, how'd you get so-and-so to work? Because I'm being told it doesn't work. So, be patient. Just be patient. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So, keep in mind, if it's not coming up on something you originally built, make sure to take a look that the part might not be in the, in the regular parts, because the creator converted it over. And, yeah. And if it's still missing, well, try to give proper information as you can to the creator. So they can work on that. And if you're the creator, be patient. Just, even if there's a cacophony of chaos in your comment section about something not working, try to find the lowest common denominator of info and work from there. So, all right. Well, this is Arcades. Holy shit. I just realized I don't remember my outro. It's been so long. All right. So, hope you liked what you saw. Hope you enjoyed what you see. If you did, you know the deal, you know the spiel. This is Arcades, signing out with Kyle the Avatar Helper. Yeah, have yourself a good day. Whee! Kyle doesn't zoom out.